Welcome back to the Alex and Ava podcast, where we turn real conversations into practical English lessons. Ava, today's topic is something everyone relates to: weekend plans. Why is this topic so useful for English learners?
It's a great starting point because talking about the weekend comes up in everyday life. Whether you're chatting with coworkers on Friday or making plans with friends, these phrases help you connect and sound natural.
Absolutely, and discussing plans also introduces important grammar, like using might or going to. Let's dive into how these conversations unfold in real contexts.
That sounds perfect. We'll also touch on how to invite others, accept or decline invitations, and express uncertainty, all key skills for real communication.
So, Ava, if someone wants to ask about another person's plans, what's a polite and common way to do it in English?
A classic phrase is, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?" It's friendly and open-ended. Interestingly, research shows that open questions like this increase conversation length and engagement by about 30%.
That's a great tip. Compared to "what are you doing this weekend?", which is more direct, the first phrase feels less intrusive and lets the other person share as much as they want.
Exactly. It's like opening a door instead of pushing someone through it. Plus, it works in both formal and informal settings.
Let's talk about expressing uncertainty. You mentioned the word might earlier. How does that help in conversations about plans?
Using might signals that you're considering something but haven't decided. For example, I might stay home. Linguists call this modality, and it softens statements, making them more flexible and polite.
That's a useful nuance. If I say, "I'm thinking about going hiking," it also shows I'm undecided, right?
Yes, thinking about works similarly. It's like testing the water, sharing your thoughts without commitment. This makes conversations smoother, especially if plans might change.
Now, let's move to making invitations. I often hear, "Want to grab coffee?" Is that common in English-speaking cultures?
Absolutely. Grab coffee is a casual, friendly way to invite someone. It's less formal than, "Would you like to join me for coffee?" but just as effective in most situations.
And if someone can't join, what's a polite way to decline without sounding rude or uninterested?
You can say, "Thanks, but I promised my sister I'd help her with something." Giving a reason softens the refusal and keeps the door open for future plans.
Suppose the invitation works and you want to accept. What are some natural responses besides just saying yes?
Phrases like, "That sounds perfect," or "Sure, that sounds fun," convey enthusiasm. Research from Harvard shows that positive language increases likability during social interactions.
It's interesting how tone and word choice shape the conversation. If the time doesn't work, how do you suggest an alternative?
You might say, "I can't make it then, but how about Sunday?" This shows flexibility and keeps the conversation moving forward.
Let's get practical. Once you've agreed to meet, what's the best way to set the time and place?
Be specific. "Let's meet around 3 p.m. or "I'll message you the location." Clear details prevent misunderstandings, which is especially important if English isn't your first language.
Good point. And confirming plans helps too. A simple message like, "Looking forward to it," reassures everyone involved.
Exactly. It also creates anticipation and shows you value the other person's time.
Let's discuss politeness in English. What are some softening techniques that help avoid sounding too direct or demanding?
Adding words like maybe, perhaps, or using questions instead of commands helps. For example, "Maybe we could meet later?" sounds gentler than "meet me later."
That's important, especially in cultures where directness can seem rude. These techniques allow for negotiation and show respect.
Exactly. It's about balancing clarity and courtesy, which is key in English conversations.
Transitioning to practice, how can learners effectively build confidence with these new phrases?
Repetition is crucial. Studies show that repeating a phrase just 5 times increases recall by over 60%. Also, try small variations, like changing the activity or time, to become more flexible.
So instead of always saying "I might stay home," you could try "I might go to the park," or "maybe I'll watch a movie."
Exactly. This builds automaticity, so you can respond naturally in real-life situations.
To further improve, many learners find role play helpful. How can they use mini speaking challenges at home?
Try answering questions out loud, like, "What are you doing this weekend?" Even recording yourself helps. Research shows that self-recording boosts pronunciation and confidence.
That's great advice. And by practicing both questions and answers, learners prepare for both sides of real conversations.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the more natural your responses will feel.
As we wrap up, what's your advice for learners who feel shy about speaking English in real life?
Start small. Use these phrases with a friend or even write them down first. Consistency beats perfection. Remember, even native speakers stumble sometimes.
That's so true. And every attempt builds confidence. Don't forget, even a simple "wanna grab coffee" can open the door to new friendships.
Absolutely. Keep practicing, stay positive, and soon talking about weekend plans will feel as easy as chatting in your own language. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for more beginner-friendly English practice. Remember, learning English is a journey. Keep moving forward and don't give up.